Welcome to our bonus warm-up practice today. So since we've done 5 days of one pose practice together, I thought it would be nice to add a piece of each of those sections of poses together to create a nice warm-up practice for yourself. Something that you can try in the morning when you first wake up to warm up and loosen the body, or even right before bed at night to help again relax the body before sleep. So before we get started, let's sit up nice and tall. You can bow the head just slightly, gazing down at the floor, closing your eyes. Let's take 3 nice deep breaths in through the nose. Exhaling out through the mouth. As you do 2 more nice, easeful, full breaths, allow yourself to arrive to our warm-up practice today, letting everything else outside go. And then we can raise the head. All right, let's get ready. Let's take your folded blanket or beach towel. Come to lay on our backs with our knees bent, feet flat on the floor. And we'll start with just arms by the sides. Take another nice full deep breath here. As you exhale, feel that whole back body just melt down into your mat and the floor beneath you. And then we'll start with our dynamic knee to chest pose. We'll draw the knees in towards the chest, either hands on the kneecaps or behind the knee creases. And again, if you can't reach the knees, that's okay. You can use lightly the abdominal core muscles. Just don't make the movement as large or as big. So together we'll start. As you inhale, press the knees away. Exhale, gently pull the knees back into the belly. Let's continue for about 6 or 7 more rounds. As you do, and pulling those knees in, think of the shoulders drawing back in towards the mat. Let the whole back body rock with that motion, feeling the hips rock forward as the knee presses away and draw in. Rock back as the knees draw in. Let's do 2 more times. Nice release, opening up those hips. Next time you bring the knees in towards the chest, keep the hands on the knees, maybe take them a little out to the side or behind your knee creases. Take the knees wide out to the side, just as wide as they comfortably go. Think of the chest staying nice and open, broad across the back of your shoulders, and then bring the knees back together. So we'll follow the breath. Inhale as the knees go wide. Exhale as they come back in. As we continue for several more rounds, feel the back of the hips nice and broad in your mat, the floor beneath you. Notice the sensation of opening of the inner thighs as we take those knees wide. 2 more times. And next time those knees come together, let's bring the knees together. Keep the hands on the knees and circle the knees in one direction. Start with small, smooth circles. Again, if you're not able to hold the knees, make the movement really small. Feel that motion of the hips circling on your mat and the floor beneath you. It's a nice little massage for the back of your hips. As available, you can make the circle bigger, but allow it to be nice and smooth. When the knees come back over the belly, let's change direction. Start small, circling the other way. See if we can make it a nice smooth circle around, just noticing those areas where it might get a little choppy or stuck or glitchy. See if we can move smoothly through those. And as available, just allowing the circle to get a tiny bit bigger. One more circle around. When the knees come back over the belly, let's take the hands on the knees again and row the boats, taking the knees wide and down, together and up the body. So you're just imagining your knees are like the oars of your boats, rowing across a nice smooth body of water. Notice how the hips rock again, forward and back on the floor. Get the shoulders a little bit engaged as you circle those knees around. And next time your knees come together, let's change direction, circle the other way. A couple more times in this direction. And when the knees come together, let's take the feet, place the feet onto the mat, bring the arms by the sides, close the gaze for a moment, take a couple nice full breaths, just checking in, observing, easy for me to say, any sensations that you might notice. Now we'll start with our dynamic windshield wipers. We'll take the knees, or the feet, having a hard time today, slightly wide to the edges of your mat. And we'll take the arms out to the side in the T position and look side to side slowly just to check that those hands are a little bit below your shoulders or right at your shoulders and not overhead. Broaden the shoulders down into the mat. Start with a nice easeful inhale through your nose. And as you exhale, roll the knees softly to the right as you turn the head to the left. Inhale, bring everything back to center. Exhale the other way. Continuing at your own smooth pace. Not forcing the knees to the ground, just allow the weight of the knees to take them over to the side. If there's any pain or strain, you might walk the feet closer together. Make the movement a little bit smaller. And then check in. Notice what's happening in the body as the knees twist to one side and the head turns softly to the other. Notice if the breath, we're rushing through the breath. Try to slow it down, which allows us to also slow down the movement. We'll do 2 more times in this dynamic windshield wipers. And when you return from your left side next, bring everything back to center. Walk the feet back in line with your hips and bring your arms down by your sides. So setting up for our dynamic bridge pose to open up the front of the hips and the thighs and strengthen the glutes. Now remember, if you have any knee injuries or have had surgery, knee replacements, you might want to walk the feet just a tiny bit further away so we're not straining the knee joint. If your knees are feeling healthy and happy today, they can be a little bit closer, but just not too close. Maybe barely touching the heels, if even that close. Start with the palms by your side and see if you can roll the shoulders slightly back towards the mats, keeping your gaze downward towards the knees. And we'll start with our robot arms. I just like to add this action, strengthening the back of the arms and the upper back there. Palms face each other. Press the feet evenly into the floor. As you take your next inhale, lift the hips, press the palms gently down. Keep your gaze downward towards your belly. Inhale as you lower the hips, bending the elbows. And keep going. So it's like your arms are little levers or fulcrums. As the arms press down, the hips lift. And the elbows bend, the hips lower. Allow the neck, the jaw, the collarbones to be smooth and relaxed. As the front of the hips start to open, you might get a little bit bigger range of motion, but don't force that to happen. Notice the knees as well, trying to keep those knees in alignment with your hips. Notice if the toes are gripping into your mat. Can you let the toes relax? Let's just do 2 more of these. Last one. As those hips come down, release the arms. Take a nice big breath in, big breath out. And you're welcome, if it feels good, to hug your knees into the chest. Give yourself a little squeeze and rock a little bit side to side. Nice massage for the back of the body. Now take your time as you roll to one side. We're going to press on up, and we're going to come either to hands and knees, or again, remember those options to modify using the chair if you don't like to be on the hands and knees. So if you're going to be on the floor, let's grab our towel, our blanket to pad our knees. And similarly, if you don't like being on the wrists, you have your blocks as an option, so you can be on your forearms and elbows. So we'll start with our dynamic child pose. So if you remember, we come into knees, maybe a tiny bit wider, either tops of the feet or toes curled under. I think with dynamic child pose, I like the tops of my feet. And I walk my hands a little bit ahead of my shoulders, not too far, and spread the fingers slightly wide and press my finger pads down into the mat. And I take a nice inhale as I shift my shoulders right over my wrists, lift the belly slightly up towards the spine. Exhale as you sit your hips back towards your heels, nice long arms. Inhale, shoulders back over wrists, and exhale, extended child pose. As we continue several more rounds, think of keeping the gaze downward, looking at your mat. The crown of the head is reaching away from the tailbone towards the top of your mat. Arms are nice and long. Getting nice stretch, mobility in the hips, the knees, the lower spine. Let's do 2 more. And the next time you sit back in your child pose, even modified standing, which I like to call ski jumper pose, hold there. Maybe your forehead can rest on the floor. If not, just allow your head to stay in a nice neutral position. You're gazing down at your mat. Crown of the head reaching away from the tailbone. Nice long arms, feeling that nice opening and stretch under the shoulders. Imagine your tailbone lengthening towards the bottom edge of your mat. Let's take 4 nice full breaths. Allow those exhales to fully release, and just feel as your body also releases. Take 1 more nice full breath for yourself. And after your full exhale, let's come back up to hands and knees. And now we're going to take the hands right into the shoulders. We're coming into our cat-cow. So again, you can use the chair seat or use your blocks under your forearms. Knees are right under your hips. Draw those shoulders back away from the neck. Take a nice inhale as you lengthen your spine. Exhale, round into your cat, tucking chin and tailbone. Inhale, allow the belly to lower as you draw the shoulders back, lifting chin and tailbone. And keep going. When you round into your cat, think of energetically drawing your belly button up towards your spine, giving a little bit of a core engagement. Make everything a small movement. Try not to overgrip, force it. You're just doing gentle lift of that belly button. We're going to do 4 more. Loosening up all the way down the spine. And 2 more times. Last one. As you come to your neutral tabletop, let's walk back, either standing on hands or knees. Let's take and circle out those wrists. You can get the fingers involved, twinkling the fingers, change direction, circle the other way, and then shake it all the way out. Let's do that one more time. All right, let's come to sitting. Close out our warm-up practice today. So you can see now, after doing 5 days of poses, we can add them all into a nice little sequence that we can do every day. So let's take a nice closing breath. Arms out to the side, sit up nice and tall. Take a nice inhale, palms overhead. Exhale, draw your palms together and down. Gaze at your own fingertips. Send yourself gratitude today for joining your practice, committing to it. And I thank you all. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.